So I got to say, this show, from what I've seen so far, is phenomenal. It's such a harrowing story, such a timely one, though, too. What about it really drew you both to want to be a part of the project? Mckenna, if you want to go first, and then Colin.
I think that it is such a it I'm honored to be telling Jan's story, especially playing Jan. That was really scary, but I'm honored to be telling her story with her so much involved. That was the biggest thing for me, was making sure that she was a part of this and that she was okay with it. And she was such a big part of this. And it was amazing to be able to talk to her. But reading it and seeing the documentary for the first time, and then diving into the book and the interviews and all of the things, it was just, the more I read and the more I learned about the story, the more my mind was like, what is going on? And there was always something new that was happening. And that was so insane to me. And I think that this show is so important, not only because we're able to tell their story and help people understand them, but also because I think that it can be a learning experience and raise awareness for this type of situation.
And then Colin, how about for yourself?
Yeah, I think the main thing that really stuck with me was that I just couldn't get their story out of my head. I had read the first three scripts and I had watched the documentary, and I could not stop thinking about what it is that they were put through. And really, I sort of landed at this interesting sort of crossroads of not necessarily having anything really in common with Bob Broberg, aside from the fact that we were both, married and had kids. That was really it. So I kind of just took it as an opportunity to jump off the edge, so to speak, and just dive into a character and do as much research as I can. And with all that, have the goal of trying to explain why the Brobergs made the decisions that they did. Because the truth of the matter is, they did not make it in a vacuum. They were groomed, they were preyed upon, and they were forced to make the decisions that they made. And there's a lot of them. And so I really wanted to do the best that I could to try and bring Bob to life. And show the pain that he had to go through while trying to get his daughter back.
So McKenna, for you, this is a really interesting piece in that for a lot of horror genre fans like myself, we're used to seeing you play younger versions of characters while an adult plays the older version. But this is kind of flipped. You're now the older version for this. What was that like for you, getting to be that for Jan for this one? Did you talk with the younger actress at all while working?
Yeah, absolutely. For the first 2, 3 weeks that I was there, Hendrix was also working. And so her and I spent so much time together. She would come over to my hotel room all the time. And we would always talk and hang out, and I'd take her out for boba and whatnot. And it was really nice. It was very special to me to finally have like a younger version of myself. That was so cool. And it was really fun to try and create this character and flow it together to make sure that I'm doing what she was doing whenever she was playing Jan, and that we're both doing what Jan was actually doing at the time, and picking up on what Jan would tell us her mannerisms were at the time, but also trying to do it like each other. It was a whole like process, but I hope that it turned out right, and I feel like it did, and it was pretty fun to figure out.
I certainly feel like it comes across well on screen. So I'm glad that you had that experience with one another. And Colin, I got to say, you phenomenal work as well. What was it like for you exploring the very Midwestern nature of Bob for the screen?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot about the band that I thought was incredibly interesting. I don't think I've ever grasped at so many straws trying to play a character. So I did all sorts of different things. And it's not just, the sort of Midwestern nature, but it's also his faith, the way that he looks at the world, the way that he interacts with the world, and, in the Mormon community. There was a lot there that felt a little foreign to me. And so I just kind of did the best I could to just try and think outside of my personal box and try and think about what Bob did. So, next thing you know, I'm buying era appropriate cologne. I'm, shaved half my head. I'm wearing glasses. I've got Mormon affirmations all up on my trailer. Just sort of doing whatever I could to just try and remember that, Bob's first decision is to smile because it's choice, So, I just tried to do everything that I could to be in that headspace, despite the fact that, the man was being, put through hell.
Well, I think you did a phenomenal job finding those layers. Mckenna, I think you do an incredible job as well. I look forward to finishing the show when it comes out and spreading the word about it. Thank you both so much for taking the time to chat. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.